But when I got further into my success, and I got a little bit bored really of the success, which is really funny, you know, because the external success, I started to buy sports cars and things like that as well, to see if I could satisfy, you know, and fill the emptiness inside of me. But that didn't work, so I continued with my personal growth to really fill that emptiness, because I couldn't do that with a sports car. I come from an entrepreneur's family. My father was an entrepreneur in the shipping in the port of Rotterdam. My grandfather was an entrepreneur, and so I had that affinity, and I learned it from since childhood how it works in the port and in the maritime sector, etc., etc. I chose the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, and I started in that industry to, you know, to further develop my career. So what I did is I would say to my customers in Europe and in South America, I would say, listen, you need it now, I'll deliver it now. Of course, it has a price tag. And nobody thought of that it could be so fast. So I attracted many clients. But in the height of my success, I really was a slave to my agenda. I would fly, for example, I have a meeting in Dubai, and then the next day I would fly to Amsterdam to get a connecting flight to New York and then continue. Because I was overdoing it, you know, because I had my company and it was internationally. I was living in airplanes, and that's not healthy, just to live in airplanes out of a suitcase with a permanent jet lag. And so I took too much on my plate very often, as entrepreneurs do that. Huh? A lot of entrepreneurs, they have that they don't have a limit, and I was so driven that I didn't have a limit, despite my meditation and all that. I trespassed my limits, my own limits, and then you gotta pay somehow, you know. And that, fortunately for me, I was lucky enough that I only got a stent and nothing, no heart damage. But it did change my. It made me wiser. It gave me a lot of wisdom, because the heart is, you know, the heart is is your life. I became a musician in my 20s because someone gave me instruments, because I was already banging on things with spoons in rhythm, and I got rhythm instruments and I became a musician. And I think it's so good for our growth, for our well-being. And it's the same with visual arts and what have you, and poetry and literature. It enriches the soul. What's my function? Who am I now in my work? Well, you know, the most well-known word is coach, but I'm also a trusted advisor. So there's a big distinction between the two. You know, with a coach you get the best out of someone, and that's really a beautiful type of work. But sometimes I also give straight advice about international business, what have you, you know. But I'm a coach and a trusted advisor. That's my work.